Alice and Bob are close friends who share a passion for history and literature. They decide to visit the ancient library in their city, which is said to contain rare and valuable books from different eras and cultures. They hope to find some interesting and hidden gems among the dusty shelves.
Wow, this place is amazing. Look at all these books. I wonder how old they are.
Some of them are probably centuries old, maybe even older. This library is one of the oldest in the world, you know.
Really? How old is it exactly?
Well, according to the plaque outside, it was founded in the year 1200 by a wealthy merchant who wanted to preserve the knowledge and wisdom of his time. He collected books from all over the world and donated them to the library.
That's incredible. He must have been very generous and curious.
Indeed, and he also left a secret behind. A legend says that he hid a treasure somewhere in the library, and that only the worthy can find it.
A treasure? What kind of treasure?
No one knows for sure. Some say it's a priceless book that contains the secrets of the universe. Others say it's a golden key that opens a hidden door to another world. And some say it's just a myth.
Wow, that's fascinating. Do you think it's true?
I don't know, but I'd love to find out. Come on, let's explore the library and see if we can find any clues.
Alice and Bob wander around the library, browsing through the books and admiring the architecture. They see books written in languages they don't recognize, books with illustrations of strange creatures and places, books with covers made of leather, metal, or wood. They feel like they are traveling through time and space, discovering new worlds and stories.
Look at this book, Bob. It's written in Latin. It says, De Rerum Natura, by Lucretius. It's a poem about the nature of things, and how everything is made of atoms.
That's amazing. How did he know about atoms so long ago?
He was a philosopher and a poet. He used logic and observation to explain the natural phenomena. He also wrote about the gods, the soul, and the afterlife.
What did he say about them?
He said that they don't exist. He was an atheist and a materialist. He believed that nothing exists except matter and void, and that everything is governed by natural laws.
Wow, that's very bold and radical. He must have been very brave to write such things.
Yes, he was, but he also paid a price for his ideas. His book was banned and burned by the Christian authorities, and he was accused of heresy and blasphemy.
That's terrible. He didn't deserve that. He was a genius and a visionary.
I agree. He was ahead of his time. His book is a masterpiece of literature and science.
Alice and Bob continue their exploration, finding more books that interest them. They read about ancient civilizations, mythical legends, exotic travels, and mysterious mysteries. They lose track of time, immersed in the world of books.
Bob, look at this book. It's written in hieroglyphs. It's an Egyptian book of the dead. It's a guide for the soul to the afterlife.
That's awesome. How do you know it's a book of the dead?
I learned some hieroglyphs in school. See, this symbol means book. And this one means dead. And this one is the name of the owner of the book. It says, Ani,
Ani? Who was he?
He was a scribe and a nobleman. He lived in the 19th dynasty, around 1300 BC. He was a wealthy and powerful man, but he also feared death and judgment.
Why did he fear them?
Because he believed that after death, his soul would have to face a trial before the god Osiris and his 42 judges. They would weigh his heart against a feather, and if his heart was heavier than the feather, it meant that he had sinned and he would be devoured by a monster called Ammit.
That's scary. How did he avoid that fate?
He used this book as a cheat sheet. It contains spells, prayers, and instructions that would help him pass the test and reach the paradise of the gods.
That's clever. Did it work?
I don't know, but I hope so. He seems like a nice guy.
Alice and Bob are about to move on to another book when they notice something strange. Behind the Book of the Dead, there is a small hole in the wall. They look closer and see that it's a hidden switch.
Bob, look at this. It's a switch. Do you think it's part of the treasure hunt?
Maybe. Should we press it?
I don't know. It could be dangerous. Or it could be fun. What do you think?
Question: what should Alice and Bob do? A. Press the switch and see what happens. B. Leave the switch alone and continue exploring the library. C. Ask a librarian for help and advice.
Answer: A. Press the switch and see what happens.
Explanation: this is the correct answer because it follows the theme of the story, which is meeting at the ancient library and finding a treasure. Pressing the switch is a way of showing curiosity and courage, and it could lead to an exciting discovery. Leaving the switch alone or asking a librarian are boring and safe options, and they don't fit the theme of the story. Here are the 5 words and phrases related to the topic that were used in the story.
Ancient library. A library that contains old and rare books from different eras and cultures. Book of the Dead. An Egyptian book that contains spells and instructions for the soul to the afterlife.
Hieroglyphs. A writing system that uses symbols to represent words and sounds. De Rerum Natura. A Latin poem by Lucretius that explains the nature of things and the atomic theory. Switch. A device that controls the flow of electricity or activates a mechanism,